Yes. We're back again. Another episode, Bigger Talks, IG Live Edition. And I got Miss Ariel Carr, IG expert. She's going to show us and tell us how to scale to a six-figure business on social media. She's a mom, she's a wife, and she's phenomenal. We're going to talk all things IG, social media, life, opportunity, and how do we beat the algorithm, right? Because it's changing every day. So Ariel, oh, there she is. She's ready. What she
Hey,
said? Hey, how
how
you
are
doing?
you?
I'm phenomenal. How you feeling?
Good. I rested today. I felt
Uh-huh.
really good about that. I was like just kicking my feet up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
today's been a good day.
Amen to that. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time, your energy. Congratulations, because I don't know how many weeks or how many months you are. You have a
6 months.
6 months. Let's get it.
Yep.
What is that? 26 weeks?
Yep, I'm at 27 weeks with twins. So
There we
yes.
go. Congratulations. Do we know the gender? Have you
Yeah,
discovered?
2 girls.
Oh,
Hmm. Right.
twins. Let's get it.
Right.
Fun fact. So I had a twin. My twin didn't make it. So my mom said she feel like my twin lives inside of me. That's why my energy is the way it is. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. Congratulations. You look amazing. And we're going to talk about making money.
Yeah,
We're
let's
talking
talk
about
about
making
it.
money on Instagram. You're IG expert. You have a business. You do very well. So before we get started, I just want to, if you can share with the followers, the viewers, the people who are going to be listening, where are you from? And how did this whole thing with Instagram and you making money start?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in the DMV, so Maryland specifically.
Oh, I'm from
Um,
Baltimore. Okay, shouts
oh,
out. I went to
cool.
Hampton University. Okay, what
Oh,
part of?
there you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was in Waldorf, Maryland, so Southern Maryland.
got it.
Um, and then, well, I'll start off how I started monetizing Instagram. So it started in 2020. Um, and actually maybe it started before that. So my journey started as an entrepreneur when I graduated college.
Got
And
it.
I studied entrepreneurship in college, so I knew that's what I always wanted to do. So I got out of college, I graduated, and I went straight into the music industry. And I did that for 4 years. I ended up creating a management agency, started managing 3 independent artists, and I got one of them a distribution deal, another one verified. We were opening in front of Travis Scott,
Yeah.
it was really, oh, is it freezing? Can you hear me?
No, you're good. You're good. Keep going.
Okay. All the things that seemed like it was super successful on the outside, yet no money was being made. Money kept going out. We tried to do like, you got to flex for the gram when you're an artist. You got to look a certain way. You got to play the part. And so money kept going out, but money was not coming back in. And I came to a turning point and I was like, okay, if my artists don't blow up by X amount of time, I got to get a real job. And so that came, and I was 23 years old, and I was like, all right, I got to go get a real job now. Went ahead, got that real job, but I launched an ebook. Everything I learned from growing their social media accounts, I put into my Instagram growth ebook. And that ebook is what made me my first 6 figures in 3 months' time, all through Instagram.
Oh, ho. Let's scale back a minute. So you wrote an ebook, and at the time, what year was this? And had you just get
That was
into?
2020.
Oh, so 2020. Okay, so you fast forwarded. Okay, cool. So with the information prior from having artists and management and starting things and spending a lot, not bringing in a lot, what was, by the way, what's the title of the ebook? Maybe some people can think about getting it down if they're on the slide.
Yeah, so I've archived the 2020 edition, but there is a new one for
Yeah,
this year's algorithm, and it's called the eMoney Bundle. So you
got it.
can get you can get that original ebook there. It's all updated for this year. But yeah, it was a crazy transition. I didn't expect to make that much, honestly.
Really?
But yeah, I didn't have the plan of doing that. I was just like, this would be cool if I make some extra money, like while I'm working 9 to 5. This would
Yeah.
be dope. But I made 25K the first month. And I
Ooh, how
started
much was
with
the
home.
ebook?
It was $20.
Hold on. How many followers did you have?
Right. I had 1,000 followers when I launched my ebook, and I was growing my account at the same time. So, my account also went from 1,000 followers to 100,000 followers in about 5 months. So everything like went super rapid. This was all in 2020. And obviously I was doing something right. I tried, a lot of techniques from practicing on my artist pages. I really
Yeah.
studied the algorithm. I tried out different content methods. And so when it came to my own page, it just all took off.
So basically with all this time in the pandemic from 2020, you did research, you studied prior probably to 2020. You had the information to better the situation based on experience and wisdom. You had an idea, you took action, and you made a lot of money. But
Yeah.
what was the key in that process? Was it consistency? Was it that everybody was home watching social media and TV? What for you and your business with 1,000 followers, $20 ebook, but you made 25,000 in a month? What was you? What do you think was the key for you?
Well, it was a combination. So it was a very opportune time. Everyone was like getting laid off. They were like, I need to learn how to grow my online brand. I need to learn how to monetize it. And so I launched right before the pandemic hit. And so it was just a very good
Perfect timing.
time. But of course, the strategies that I was using, the marketing strategies, my content strategies, that played a huge role. It wasn't just because I had a good product and service. It's because I had a good marketing strategy as well. And I did show up very consistently. And I mean, I posted every single day for 365 days. I did. Yeah.
Hey, people, take note. Listen, consistency. She was consistent. She took advantage of the algorithm and people being at home through the pandemic, and she makes money. So let's talk about. I want to move into like money, right? Because there's people who are really good at making money, but we don't know how to keep it or manage it.
Yeah.
So the question for you is, what was your relationship with money growing up? How was your relationship with money for you to
Good
make?
question.
Yeah.
Good question. So my parents are entrepreneurs, both of them. So I always had maybe a different mindset than other people when it came to money, in the sense that I knew that working a job, there's a cap. There's a limit to how much you can make. If you work one job, you have one source of income. And so that's why I got into entrepreneurship, because they were there and they always told me, hey, if you want to make more money, if you want to be, a millionaire, which of course I do, everyone wants to be that. A job may not be the best way to have that be possible. And so my relationship with money is that I always thought it was abundant. I always wanted to have, right. I always wanted to have something that made money for me passively, that made money for me actively, that couldn't be taken away by someone snapping their fingers and being like, nope, you ain't got this no more. So I always had that sense that like, I gotta go create something that makes me money without having someone else there, to do it for me.
Well, congratulations. That was beautifully put. So people listening and watching, if you really listen to what she said, she had a money blueprint. She had a money mindset because of her blueprint was what she saw every day. We go off what we see and not what we know. So her parents were entrepreneurs. She took their information, their expertise, what she saw, and she put it to action, and she became it because she was around it. So I think a lot of times when people, I would say at least for me, you see things, you hear these stories, but you like, how? And then you get the backstory. Oh, you grew up around it. You had the mentality. You had the energy. You was in a vortex and a frequency of making money with the mentality that I know if I work a job, but I'm not going to make the money. But as an entrepreneur, I can be abundant.
Right.
And now you have a big time business and you're very successful. And that's sometimes when we're selling or we're making products, we can have a belief system, but our money relationship can be really weak. So therefore, we have the marketing tools from Ariel Carr that she has in her ebook. We have the information, we have the structure, we have the routine, because Ariel Carr, she's an IG expert. She gave me everything. but I can't seem to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Reality. And I just want to say that's amazing because I think, like I said, a lot of times we think we can do it, but we don't know because we don't have the information.
Yeah.
So that was great. So
Yeah.
you have a great relationship with money. You made 25,000 your first month. So after you made that, what was the next goal or what was your intentions beyond that?
I wanted to get to the 6-figure mark,
Yeah.
and that's what I started gunning for. And so the 100K came in 90 days. It came in those 3 months. Then from there, I got to $500,000 in 12 months. And now I'm like, okay, cool. That's fine. I haven't been able to get to the 7-figure mark within a year yet. But it's coming. It's coming. So that was always the next step. I was able to quit my job. And I didn't quit my job until I reached 300,000 in revenue. I know some people are like, they start making money and they're like, okay, I can quit now, like whatever. But I knew that, first of all, I wanted to make at least double my salary. And second of all, I wanted to have an emergency fund. I wanted to know that my business wasn't just a fluke, like it was sustainable. And so I made sure all of that was in place before I quit.
There we go. Your parents they just set you up to win. You had the mindset, the mentality, the understanding, the action. You took action and you were consistent.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So what you see with social media, Instagram, perhaps, what is, because I believe everybody listening, watching, who's going to listen, I think we're moving into this metaverse, this virtual, digital space of currency, NFTs, all these things. What is the first thing a person should think of or be aware of if they want to make money on social media? Exactly, being Instagram. What's the first thing they should know?
First thing you should know is how to create content that converts to sales. So not just content for content's sake to get likes or to get comments, but to generate sales. And so that's a specific type of content. You may not get a bunch of likes on it, but you might get a lot of money from it. And so there's a difference in the way that is presented. Content that converts well falls into 3 categories. So you're either educating your audience, you're building brand awareness, you're letting them know, hey, I'm an expert in my field, right? And you start to build that trust factor, or you inspire them, you let them know like, hey, I was once in your shoes, I now got here, or like my students were where you were at and now they're here. So you like give them that inspiration that they can do it too, and it's not just like the lucky ones. And then by having social proof. And the last piece of content is, I said, educational, inspirational, and entertaining is the last one. So you still want to relate to people. Even when I have lifestyle content and I posted, my honeymoon, for instance, I was like, hey, I'm having this dream honeymoon. Everything's great, but it's only because of my business. It's only because I learned how to monetize my content. So even the lifestyle content is disguised to be relatable and all of that, but it still points to like, this is, how you can do it for yourself. This is how you can invest in my business and see the same type of results.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback off of that because I started a coaching business about 1.5 years ago, and I hired a coach.
Okay.
And I was producing a lot of content, but I'm like, what? Like it was great and it was fun, but then I'm like, where are the results? And she was telling me, she's like, well, you got to know your market. You got to know your demographic. So for someone who's starting out creating content, who want to turn their followers into dollars, or who have a bunch of followers and want to turn, some of their followers into their email list, right?
Yep.
How does one discover their audience? How did you discover your audience? How did you find who is my customer? What did you go through? How did that happen, that process?
Well, the first step is market research. So I always tell people, do not launch an offer until you have done market research. So that's, understanding who you want your ideal customer to be. What do they look like? What are their behaviors? What do they struggle with? What are their objections? And what are their goals? So I'm going to say that again. So you need to know their behaviors, their struggles, their objections, and their goals. Okay. Once you really uncover who that ideal client is and you answer all those questions, now you know how to market to them. Now you speak in their language. So now your messaging is clear. Now your offer is more refined to their needs. And it's a lot easier to uncover those people through content. And now they're drawn to you. Now they're like, oh my gosh, like this is exactly what I need. He's speaking right to me. I need to get his coaching program, like, because it answers everything that I was looking for. So you have to understand your target audience.
Yeah, and it's important to have patience because I was lacking patience. I'm like, it was 3 months in. She was like, you just started. Like, give it a break. I was doing 6 videos a day. I was doing 3 on Instagram, 3 on TikTok, right? Then I was getting into the quotes. And I was just so anxious because I'm like, like, what's up? And just, you know, shouts out to Rachel Coley, my coach. I appreciate you a lot. She set up a lot of my back end stuff. She helped. But it took me 8 months to land one of my biggest clients. And like you said, it takes one client. Right. And a lot of times people like, well, they question their price. They question if it's too much, if it's not enough. And when you believe in what you're pushing and what you're putting out and you're passionate about it and you know what you're doing, or you kind of have just because it's a lot of work, you know, if you have a team, because you got back end, you got landing pages, websites, marketing, you got captions, you got all these things. And it does it the way it looks. It's not the way it is.
Right, for sure.
Because I thought you would just post, boom, boom, boom. It's so much. So I have so much respect for you in that business and that space because it's not easy. But once you get a hang of it, it rolls. So what's next outside of, you know, okay, you made the money already. Of course, you want to get to 7 figures. I believe you get that in 2 months. That's what my spirit is telling me. You know, you about to have a newborn, and it's just the way the universe works. But what do you think is what's working for you right now, and what you think is your biggest challenge?
That's a good question. So what's working for me now is Reels. Like I'm getting really into video creation in general. And of course that's what Instagram is pushing. So as content creators, you know, online entrepreneurs, that's a pretty much a requirement in 2022. You have to learn how to make videos. You have to learn how to make trending reels, right? Specific for your audience. So that works for me heavily because not only am I reaching my following, but reels goes outside of your followers. People that don't even follow you can see your content. And so I love that. I've been really getting onto that. My challenge for this year has been team management. So I've hired a lot of people. I've been trying to figure out the right roles, especially because I'm going on maternity leave. And I'm like, okay, I'm the face of my brands, right? So if I don't show up, it reflects in the sales. So now I have to figure out, how do I automate? How do I systematize? How do I find the right people that can do lead generation, you know, without me having to physically be there all the time? So that's been the challenge for this year, is finding the right people.
Yeah. So do you have a lot of evergreen products, or you just constantly, I'm sorry, producing content?
Both. So I have courses and ebooks that anyone can get at any time. So that's Evergreen. But then I have my signature group coaching program that only is released 6 times out of the year. And that's a live launch. That's where people get to work directly with me and I walk them through everything. And it's an 8-week program. So that comes with a live launch.
Yeah. So is a live launch the same as like a webinar? Is that kind of the same, or is it different?
Yeah, pretty much. I always do webinars, or it could be Instagram lives, but most of the time I just do the webinar way, because when you do webinars, people can sign up and they can join your email list, and now you can do some email marketing to them.
Yeah. And what's the easiest, or what is the best way, I guess, is pushing out content to get people into your email list? What is like the best, like
having a lead magnet. You'll need a lead magnet. So something that's free or like super low cost, like $1 or something, just to get people's emails. So my webinars, when I launch, are always free. I have a freebie on my website. It's called 5 Types of Content That Sells. Y'all can go grab that too.
Oh, grab that.
Yeah, that's on my website. And I always have something that attracts my ideal clients, and they get a freebie out of it and I get their email out of it. And from my email list, I'm not just like selling. I'm actually giving tangible tips and everything, the same that I do on Instagram. I'm always providing value, and that's how you nurture your audience and build a community.
That's beautiful. You know, hey, you got it. I'm waiting for, I gotta get a product, you know? So I know people, and I have friends and people on social media that push out a lot of content. And I know there's different type of pages, right? You got creator page, you got a business page, personal page. For Instagram, what is the proper page that a person needs to have to make money? Because I have one friend, she has 16,000 followers. She's in the self-help space. One of her reels did 11.7 million views.
Gosh.
So I'm like, did you make money off of that? She's like, no. I'm like, what?
No.
To help people find out what account do they need to be signed up under, what do they need to be clicking on to get that, because you know Instagram pays, I think the 21st of every month.
Yes.
You get paid for your reels. I don't know the numbers, how it works, but I haven't gotten some.
Yes.
Is there some type of page you need to have? It has 11 million views on this. It's reel.
Okay, I'm gonna say two things to that.
Yeah.
Number one, you need to be a business account. All right. If you're selling a product or service, you need to be a business account. And that just means you're linking your Instagram page with a Facebook page. And then you get access to all types of features that personal accounts don't have access to. So you can have badges now in your lives. People could tip you. You have, you could get paid for your reels. Anytime a reel hits 1.2 million views, you get a paycheck from Instagram. And then you have analytics, so you can see best time to post. You can see your demographics. You can see what content performs the best, like what gets the most saves, what gets the most shares, and all of that is important to know. You have to track your metrics. Yes. Number two, the second thing I'm going to say to that is she should have capitalized on it without having Instagram pay her. So I don't know what the content was. I'm sure it was like something relatable and people were like sharing it or whatever.
It was like a TikTok. It was like an animated, like she turned into like another Disney character, but it was, she said she got like 5,000 followers.
Okay.
But no money, and she didn't have no type of lead magnet or any type of call that. I'll talk about that next. But I think people need that info because most people are working from home. You can take a break, 30 minutes, and create a reel, and you know, if you get 1 million views, hey baby, that's a little bit of money in the account, right?
Yeah. So that's a lot of views.
Yeah, that's what
I don't know.
When she told me, I'm like, you don't have 11 million views. You're BSing me. I don't believe that. I went to her page and I was like, hold up, you have 11 million views, like.
Wow.
And I couldn't find what she needed to sign up for to make the money for that, because I'm like, you probably so many people watching that video. This is one video.
Yeah, you have to be a business account, but I believe you also have to be eligible. Like, I don't think they give it to everyone, or maybe they have now. I'm not even 100% sure on this, but
she said something like that. Got to be eligible. What does that mean?
Yeah, you might have to be eligible, which means your account has to meet certain requirements for you to monetize it in that way.
Damn.
Yep. she gotta pump out more.
Right. All right. So next, what I see on your page? Oh, I actually got some notes on you. You have a video, and the caption reads, "Quick Start Guide to Daily Sales." I'm like, daily sales? And I think it was like 3 things, but can you kind of like elaborate on that if you remember? I want to talk about the power and the benefit of a call to action.
Yeah, so call to actions are very important. I use it every single time I post. So whether I'm telling people to engage with my content, so I'm telling them, hey, save this post for later, or comment below your thoughts, right? And I'm trying to boost engagement. If I'm not doing that, I'm trying to make a sale. So I'm telling people where they can get more resources from me. I'm telling them to DM me, to book a call, DM me for more info, click the link in my bio, check out my freebie. So I have, 2 different call to actions for that. And the call to action for sales, obviously, is how you can get the daily sales going. Your content every day can produce a sale. And so the way you do that is by walking people through certain steps. So you have to turn someone who's a cold lead into a hot lead. And so the way to do that.
What's a hot lead?
Say that
terminology.
again?
What's a cold lead and then what's a hot lead?
A cold lead is someone who just stumbled across your page and they don't really know what you're about. They don't know what your products and services are. So you have to educate them on all of that before they're like, oh, let me consider this. And then they go from let me consider this to let me buy this. And that becomes the hot lead.
Got it.
Yeah.
So daily sales, I'm into that. And I've learned something because, I had a book out. I released it in November of last year. And I was just on Instagram on my story like every day. Hey, 100 Days of Wisdom, get your copy, bop, bop, bop. So what I discovered over time, I started using polls in the story, like who has a copy of my book? So if I get 12 people to respond to a poll and say, 7 say no and 5 say yes, the 7 no's, I'm sending them, hey, I just saw that you didn't have my book. By the way, if you want to sign a copy, here you go. And out of that 7, I might get 2 or 3 sales, right? Or I might get 1 sale. But I realized like, oh, there's a way to use Instagram to not only get daily sales, but to hit a mark where you can say, I can sell a few books a week if I'm intentional about it and I plan it out and do it right. But social media does work. What made you take to Instagram so well and not like YouTube or TikTok or Facebook ads? Like, what made you get into Instagram?
Only because I knew it. Like, I already knew about it. I already studied it. I already grew some pages in the past. Yeah. I stuck to it, right? Because that's just what I know. And I think anyone that's trying to release something, an offer, you're trying to come up with something in your head, stick to what you know. Don't try to do something you don't know. So that's just why I did that. TikTok in 2020 was not as prevalent until the pandemic hit and everyone was like, let's scroll online now. And then first of all, it was a Gen Z thing and now it's like more millennial thing. And so I'm now on TikTok, but I wasn't focused on it then. And with YouTube, I didn't choose that because I felt like that was more effort, upfront effort. Like you gotta sit there, you gotta edit your video, you gotta pick your topic, you gotta talk for 30 minutes, you gotta get your lighting, your mic, all this equipment. Yeah. So I honestly felt like that took a little more effort than me coming up with content every day. It took me 10 minutes to come up with my daily content. So
yeah. Can you because I posted a video, the last video I posted of you in a story. I was like, that song, I kind of like the song you were playing. I don't remember it, but I realized I remember from my coach, like certain songs of music has real plays, right? Where a lot of people use the song and that can kind of make you go viral or kind of can get you more attention. So do you have any like hacks, Instagram hacks that people can use within creating reels or producing content that can get them more attention or more followers or people to kind of look at their page?
Yes. So with reels, there's definitely a formula to them, like going viral, getting views, and even getting sales. So my advice is to have text, like in the first frame, you want to capture their attention. People only are going to look at the video for 3 seconds before they decide to swipe or not swipe. So you have to capture their attention in the first 3 seconds, and you should have a catchy headline. Like just write out the text, what is this video going to be about? And it needs to be something that sparks their interest or sparks their curiosity. From there, you get into the content itself of the reel. Like you want to have trending audio, or you want to do some other type of trend. Maybe there's a trending dance or a trending transition or like whatever. Hop on the trends. And then lastly, use your call to action. So I put my call to actions sometimes in the reels, not all the time, but most of the time I put a call to action in the reel itself with that text. And then I also make sure it's in my caption. So that makes people, actually take action. They save it, they share it, they comment, they do whatever with it. So that helps.
Wow. We need to take a master class on Instagram. Do you have any products or digital assets that we can utilize? Because the thing is that I'm discovering about Instagram, it's so simple, but it's complicated if you don't understand it.
For sure. Yeah.
I learned that years ago with just getting influencer deals and being on like, different shows and different platforms about being consistent, right? The more people see you, the more they can view you. The more they view you, the more they know you. The more they know you, the more they can understand. The next thing you know, you might have a cold person becomes a hot person who wants to buy from you.
Yep.
And, like you said, learn your audience, do what you're good at. But I also think Instagram is a platform where you can have fun making money on things you love without putting so much pressure on creating it. And I think you are one of the people in that space that can help people feel free, confident, and valuable in this space. So that's why we need more content and more information from you. Is there any product right now that you're pushing that you want people to be aware of? Do you got a webinar or a live launch coming up that we should know about?
Yes. So I'm hosting a free Q&A tomorrow. It's going to be via Zoom, and it's going to be a coaching session. So anyone can ask me anything about Instagram, about launching an ebook, about, what's required to monetize your content, all of that, how to grow a following. I'm going to answer all of those tomorrow. So just DM me the word training. Okay. DM me the word training. I'll get you signed up. And you'll also learn about my socially paid program. So that's my signature program where I walk you step by step how I got to my 500,000 mark and how other businesses can leverage Instagram to its fullest potential the way I did.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's another thing you said, live launches. I don't know if that relates to Instagram lives, but I'm also aware when you do lives consistently and you're just talking to people and then, you talk about your book, you talk about your product, people want it.
Yes.
I've done lives before and sold books and t-shirts and things, not with the intentions to, but just to kind of talk to my followers and people that support me, and people will buy. So getting out of the Instagram space, what is your intentions for life? Your mother, your wife, like what are your aspirations, outside of, hitting your 7 figures and making money, and like what is joy? What brings you joy? What's your passion? What makes you fulfilled? What makes you happy?
Honestly, I've been trying to figure that out as of late because like my identity is changing. Like, so even my content, like me showing my pregnant belly, a lot of my followers are like super interested in that part of my life now. They just want to see like baby bump stuff. They want to see like what I'm buying for the twins. They want to see nursery updates. So I'm like, okay, maybe I need to shift and be like in the parenting niche or something, or like maybe I should target working on like mothers who are entrepreneurs at the same time. So I'm kind of figuring that out. But in general, outside of Instagram, outside of business, what makes me happy is my family, is my husband, is the fact that I can travel when I would like. He just waved at me. He's over there. But that makes me super happy. I really do enjoy having an impact on people. Like, I really like seeing the results that they get for themselves so they can say like, oh my gosh, like I just bought a new car. I've had the same car for 10 years and I was able to buy a new car because you helped me out even with your free stuff. Like, I really do like hearing that.
Wow. And so, because I know you got to go, we talked prior. What is a few things you can give to someone coming into the social media space that wants to make money, that wants to create content? What is 3 things that they should know that comes to you in the moment that you think will be valuable for their existence on this platform?
Ooh, understand that you will not see results if you're not consistent enough. A lot of people are like, okay, Ariel, I tried your strategies for a week. Where's the money? And I'm like, you tried it for a week. Like, that's not enough time. So you got to be patient with yourself. Second piece of advice I would say is to learn as much as you can outside of Instagram too. When I first launched my offer, I was reading a lot of personal finance books. And because of those personal finance books, I was able to maintain the money I got. I was able to manage it a lot better because I understood money. I started understanding, wealth creation and all of that. So educate yourself outside of business, outside of Instagram for sure. And a third piece of advice, don't compare yourself either. Don't compare your journey to anyone else. It's really easy to do that on this app because you see people like, what? She made $1 million in a year. What? I don't have that. How did she do that? But you don't know what her story is. No one has been an overnight success. Trust me. So just don't compare yourself and just be patient.
The queen herself, Ariel Carr. So before we get off here, before we go, where can we follow you? Where can we get your products? We need to see you. We need to hear from you. By the way, what sign are you? When's your birthday?
Oh, I'm a Gemini.
Oh yeah, Geminis are so
Yeah.
witty and so smart and fun. But yeah, where can we follow you? We know we got the page here. Maybe you have another page. I don't know, but what do you?
I do not.
Okay.
So yeah, y'all can follow me here at Ariel Carr. I'm about to put my username right there in the comments. And that goes for Twitter too. I'm active on Twitter.
Okay, follow me on Twitter.
Right. As far as resources, the link in my bio has a ton. If you are new to Instagram, I would recommend my eMoney bundle, and that has the very first ebook I sold that brought me to 6 figures and has helped many students get to their first 4 and 5 figures. So the eMoney bundle is the link in my bio. Or if you're interested in my program, that is a more intensive program where I work with you one-on-one and I scale you to 5-figure months. So that's a little more advanced than just someone who doesn't have an offer yet. But both can be beneficial to you. So you guys can check that out through the link in my bio.
Link in the bio, people click it, follow her. She's amazing. She's educated. She knows how the money works. She has a money mindset, all about that psychology, and information changes situations. Ariel, I just want to say thank you for your time. You have a beautiful evening tonight. Congratulations on the newborn. We'll be here sooner than we can think. And shouts out to you and your husband. Have a phenomenal night in life, and we'll be in contact. And thank you for sharing your advice and information. I'm pretty sure people listening and watching will benefit. This was great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. There it is, guys. AC, Ariel Carr. Follow her. She's amazing. Bigger Talks, another episode is in the books. Shouts out to DraftKings for the hoodie. Bet 100 on myself, you know, the logo. And my boy Jeff, I believe that's his name. Make sure I got it right. From, where is my, from Vander Media. Shouts out to Gary V. This was fun. This was great. But follow Ariel Carr. She's amazing. Justin, thank you for the hoodie, brother. Vayner Media and DraftKings. Bet 100 on yourself. Believe in yourself. Never give up. Go hard. And keep watching. Keep listening. I got another Bigger Talks episode coming soon. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. It's miracle season. I'm out. Peace.